Hello, students. Hope you have understood the topic in the previous video lecture of circular flow of income 1, in which we have studied three phases, that production or income generation phase, income distribution phase, and expenditure phase. Today, we will continue with the topic of circular flow of income and study accordingly about two sector model in circular flow of income. You will write these content in your class or copy, and you will free to add on in these notes your own content also, so that a proper notes could be prepared for exams revision. Now we can see in this diagram there are two types of flow, real and nominal flow. So first we will see the real flow. We know that in two sector economy there are household and producer sector. When producer sector is going to produce, he needs the help, means he requires the assistance of the household, because the household provides factors of production. And what are these factors of production which the household provide to the producer sector? That is land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. So these factors of production are provided by the household in the form of land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. In return to that, producer produces goods and services for the household. So in this whole process, we have not talked about the money. We have only talked about the physical exchange of goods and services. So there is no consideration of money over here. Only there is an exchange of kinds. That is, household is providing land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, and producer sector is providing the goods and services. So clear to all? Now next, that we will see nominal flow. We know that household is providing the factor services. The factor of production which the household provides to the producer sector, it is called factor services. You can see in the diagram factor services it is written. So in return to land, the in money terms, the producer return it in money terms for land as rent, labor, wages, capital, interest, and entrepreneurship. Profit is being given. When producer sector has made this payment, which we also call factor payment, in the form of rent, wages, interest, and profit for the factor services provided by the household. So this factor payment is factor income for the household. Now household sector will buy from producer sector with this factor income goods and services from the producer sector, and this spending is called expenditure on goods and services, or we can call it consumption expenditure. So here we have talked about the money terms. In money terms we are talking about that household is getting the rent and wages and interest and profit, and this money is being again gone back to the producer when household is purchasing the goods and services. So land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship is called factor services, which is provided by the household for factor services. Payment made by the producer for these factor services is called factor payment, and this factor payment by producer is factor income for household, which is spent by the household sector, and again that money has been gone back to the producer as when the household do the expenditure on goods and services. Now this both separate diagrams we can see in one diagram, that is circular flow of income we called it, and expenditure in two sector economy. So two sector economy we know. To summarize it, we can say that in two sector economy there are two sectors, one is household and one is producer sector. So producer sector comes in the society of household to set up the factory and ask for the help. So household sector said that I want to give you something, I will give you land to set up the factory, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. And now producer sector have the responsibility also to give in return to that. So he provides goods and services. What we call these land, labor, capital, that factor of production or factor services. In return, producer sector gives goods and services. So, do we have talked about in this any money terms? No. So that's why that is will called real flow. Now household provides factor services. In return to that, producer sector provides rent, wages, interest and profit, which is called factor payment. And this factor payment is made by the producer to the household, which is a factor income for the household. Now, this factor income will be spent by the household to purchase goods and services from the producer sector, which we call consumption expenditure for household. So, here we are considering money. So, we will call it money flow. You can see in the diagram that the outer flow with the arrow you have seen that expenditure on goods and services consumption is going from household to producer sector, and producer sector in return to that giving rent, wages, interest, profit. So this outer flow is called money flow. And here we can see in the inner flow where land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship is provided by the household to the producer sector, and producer sector is providing again goods and services to the household. That is called real flow. So, real flow and money flow in this circular flow of income, both are equal. As we say that whatever the factor payment is made by the producer sector, that is same the factor income for the household. So, flow of money, that is rent, salary, interest and profit, is payment made to the household, is again spent on consumption expenditure. So this both the flow together make circular flow of income in two sector economy. Hope you have understood this circular flow of income. What we are seeing here, that now what is real flow? We can say real flow, that real flow indicates the factor services. Factor services we know that is factor of production, land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship flow from household sector to the firms or the producers, and goods and services flow from firm to the household sector. Now money flow is also called nominal flow, monetary flow. So different books have different, but that is different names we should know that in if the examination it is our nominal flow, so this cannot happen that we don't know. This is the another name of money flow, that nominal flow and monetary flow. So what does it indicates? It indicates that in terms of money, factor payment, that is rent, wages, interest and profit, that is given by the producer sector to the household sector, and this is also the factor payment is also the factor income for the household. On the other hand, the consumption expenditure incurred by the household flows to the firms in return for the goods and services. Now in total we will see circular flow of income. That is, what is circular flow of income? So circular flow of income refers to the continuous circulation of production, that production that we are income generating, we are providing the services and generating the income, that is production we called. And next is income distribution, that is when the producer sector provides rent, wages, salary in return to land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, that is called the income distribution phase. And when the household make the expenditure to purchase the buy the goods and services, that is called the expenditure phase. Now what are the assumption of this two sector model of circular flow? That there are only two sectors, no other sectors is interacting with that, with the household or producer sector, and there is no saving. The household sector, whatever income they are getting, they are spending those income, they are consuming from that income. And third, the firm is able to produce the exact quantity of goods and services that the households demand, that whatever the household is demanding, the same quantity the producer is. That are the assumptions that we assume in this two sector economy. Now what is the principle of circular flow of income and products we also call, because here are the exchange of products also. So real flow of income implies that the flow of factor services from the household sector to the producer sector, that the household sector will only provide the land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship to the producer sector, and flow of income. That is, different sectors, both the sectors are having the flow of income. That the producer sector is making the factor payment, and that factor payment becomes a factor income for the household. Key takeaways we have seen in the whole topic, that is, the circular flow model demonstrate how money moves from producer to household and back again in an endless loop. So it keeps on going, this flow keeps on going. As we will give the money to the, we will make more spending, so that money is again gone back to the producer, and that again comes in the form of rent, wages and salaries. And when all these factors are summed up, the result is a nation's gross domestic product, or we called it national income. That factor income is called the national income. Whatever the goods is being produced in all the sectors, that is called the GDP, gross domestic product. What we have to do, and the value of GDP, that is what the payment has been made, that will be called national income. So factor income is the income received by the owner of the factors of production in the form of rent, wages, interest and profit for the services rendered in the production process. So who is the factor owner? Household is the factor owner. Means they are having the factor of, they are providing the factor of production, that is land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship. And for land, the producer sector is providing rent. For the labor, producer sector is providing wages. And if household sector is providing capital, the producer sector is providing interest. And for entrepreneurship, they are providing the profit. So here we can see that factor income is in two sector economy is always equal to the factor payment. Then real flow is always equal to the nominal or money flow. Whatever value of goods we are producing, the same value we are getting back again from the household. Again we are investing these money to get the factor of production. So this chain keeps on